So we just ported at, what's today, our third port of call. We are in Tortola, which is the British Virgin Islands. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, Tortola. We don't have any excursions today. We are going to get off the boat and check out some of the shopping and things that are going on in town, but I want to talk a little bit about yesterday. Jan and I slept like 10 and a half hours last night. A little bit too much rum on that boat, but it was good, and it hit us all at once, so we had that going for us, which is nice. But what was your take on yesterday's excursion?
It was awesome.
Probably my most enjoyable experience on any excursion out of the 3 cruises I've been on. Yeah, it was very, very fun. Didn't see a lot of wildlife, but they made it really fun on the boat. We really liked that they were all about safety too, because there was a lot of kids on the boat, and it was like 40 of us on the boat having a great time. It took us to 2 spots. As you saw in the video, we got some cool shots of some stingray and a couple turtles. But ultimately, we had plans last night. They got nixed because we had way too much rum. I know I said a little bit too much rum, but yeah. After dinner last night, Jan and I walked around the ship like 5 times before we came back to our stateroom and slept for about 10 and a half hours. So we missed the nightlife last night. So I know I promised you nightlife last night. So tonight we'll take this Tamron 2.8 24-70 with image stabilization, which I haven't talked about in this video, but I will. So you got to stay tuned for how this camera and this lens handle IBIS, because obviously the R6 has IBIS, and this Tamron 24-70 G2 2.8 has IBIS. Although on the Tamron it's not called IBIS, I don't know what it's called, but it's in-body stabilization. So we'll see how that reacts, and you've seen how it reacts because I've been doing everything handheld. So we'll get a little more in depth about how I feel about the IBIS in this lens later in the video. But again, today we're going to take it easy. I know we woke up in Tortola. We're not in really any hurry to get off the boat, so we're going to get ourselves some breakfast and get off the boat, check out some shops, and then get right back on, because tonight we are going to enjoy some festivities this evening, and we can't afford to sleep for 10 and a half hours. No rum today. No rum. I know that sounds like almost impossible, but there's going to be no rum going into this body today. So yeah, there we are. We're enjoying this lens again. It's a heavy lens, but has a lot of glass, and you need that glass to get the crystal clarity and the sharpness that you do get out of this lens. So there you have it. There's the cliff notes from yesterday and cliff notes of what we're going to do today. We'll see what the day brings. Now that we're off the boat here in Tortola, we are going to roll a little video, but what I want to do today, since we're not doing an excursion, is see what this Tamron 24-70 with its 2.8 aperture can do as far as street photography. So here on the island of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, we're going to take this camera, the R6, out with the Tamron 24-70 2.8 G2 with IBIS, and we're going to get some street photography.
here we are on Friday. No excursion, no ports today. Today's a sea day. We got one more port on Saturday, but today we're going to be at sea all day. I hope you like those street photography photos I took yesterday in Tortola. Very cool place in the British Virgin Islands. But today, again, like I said, we're on a sea day. I did want to mention something that I forgot to talk about when we were at St. Thomas. Very interesting story. Got to talking to the captain of the excursion we were on, and he was talking about the fact that we had rowed our boat. After we passed it, he mentioned we drove by Jeffrey Epstein's island. What I found interesting, talking to the captain, he was telling us that sometimes some of the locals, when Epstein was there, would try to get on the island, and the island was full of fake animals, and in the fake animals there was eyes with cameras in them. And so some of the locals have taken some of those animals and they store them and showcase them at the local pub of these fake animals with the lenses as cameras with their eyes. So just fun facts. It was interesting to drive by Epstein Island. Also cool, the Rock, a few miles down the road near St. Thomas, has this huge mansion overlooking the water. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful part of the world.